Oh, Graham, you're such a cool dad. It's so, what an awesome conversation to have had. Well, listen, it's now time for us to treat the whole family to an Italian classic with a chicken twist, and I promise you they will love every single bite.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, well, listen, when it comes to a classic pasta dish, it is the ultimate comfort food. And as we continue to inspire you with spaghetti 3 ways, our next recipe is a cremel chicken spaghetti dish that is quick and easy to cook. And the one and only person here to show us how to do that is Chef Tumi.
How are you doing, Zoe?
You know what? I'm doing good. I'm so excited because I get to eat pasta for breakfast.
I know, right?
I'm a pasta lover. Please don't get me wrong. I love my pasta. I do enjoy my pasta, but there's something about having pasta the next day that's just so much better, especially for breakfast.
You've got it. You are exactly right. Same here. Leftovers for breakfast are the best thing, and what better dish than pasta? And to start off our delicious pasta, darling, we are using cremel today. We're making a nice chicken pasta. Yeah. And the first step for me would always to make sure that we brown our chicken, because you want that flavor, you want that layering of the flavor there. So we're going to start off browning our chicken here. We're using chicken breast. So the lovely thing about pasta dishes like this is that you get to cook your chicken very quickly. You don't have to slave over the stove for hours on end. So that's perfect for this dish. And we're going to be adding some ingredients. There's some onions, red peppers, some garlic and parsley that you'll be chopping up for me.
I'll get chopping on that. How fine do you want the garlic?
Look, the thing is, garlic for me is one of those things where you can never go wrong. Too much is good for you, too little is not enough.
You miss out.
So
I was actually...
Nice and chunky is good. You're doing quite well.
Thank you. I actually went grocery shopping and I was looking for a little garlic crusher because I'm tired of having to chop garlic. But now you're making me do that, so it's okay. Now, for those who don't know, the Clover cremel that we are using, it is the only creamer with real milk powder for a creamier taste. And other than tea or coffee, which I'm only used to using cremel for, the Clover cremel can also be used for baking and cooking, like Tumi's about to show us, and it really will bring out that rich and creamy taste of so many dishes. So I'm chopping up your garlic here for you.
You're doing quite well. So to get this started, I've already browned the chicken. You don't really need to cook it too much because we're going to cook it in the liquid of the stock and the cremel that we're going to add. So I'm going to get started with our onions that have been beautifully chopped finely for us. And then I like to go in with our peppers as well, very early as well, because you also want them to release those juices, that sweetness into your dish. You don't want them to be too crunchy, but you want to make sure that they be sauteed and nice and soft. And as you can see, Zoe, we have not added our spices yet, because what I like to do is I like to let the flavors mellow together, and then as I build the layer of flavors and I add all the different ingredients. Okay. Sometimes I find that if you add everything at once, you don't have that level of flavor where you can actually pick out a flavor. You're like, actually, I can taste the paprika. Actually, I can taste the garlic. So it's better to layer it up. So I think let me get into it with the garlic then, while you're busy chopping our parsley for us.
So I wanted to know from you, I find that especially when it comes to wanting to eat the pasta the next day, my creamy based pastas, when I warm it up the next morning in the microwave, it's almost like whatever that cream was made out of, it just melts and it's just not the same like it was the night before. What is the best way to reheat your pasta?
It is always to add a little bit more of the cream, because the thing is, the pasta, you have to know, it's very high in fat content. It's very high in butter. So what happens is the more you cook it, the more it turns into butter. You've noticed when you whip it as well, you whip your cream, it turns into butter, so it's just fat. So that's what happens. It cooks down to a point where all you're left with is just the fat. So the whole idea is, if it gets to that point, just add a bit more cream to it, or add some cremel, why not?
There we go.
Because, I mean, you can just enrich it that way, okay?
Okay. Well, I'm very fascinated to see how you're going to incorporate our Clover cremel and really just to bring out that creaminess into this chicken pasta that we are whipping up for you this morning. If you're loving what Tumi's doing and you're scrambling trying to figure out what ingredients is she using, don't worry, we've got the recipe available for you, the ingredients list every step of the way. And I'm loving what you're doing there. You just literally sprinkled it over. You're not mixing it into the sauce?
Not at all, because what I want is I wanted to coat the chicken and everything that we're cooking. And you know, like you would do with flour if you're making a roux. You'd normally do that with the flour and then you thicken it up. It actually thickens your sauce and also helps to make sure that everything binds together. So that's what we're doing there. Instead of using flour, we're adding some actual milk flavor to that.
Ooh.
And then hot stock. Whenever you're going to be making a mixture like this, add the stock hot so that it dissolves the powder that you used, flour, or in this case, we're using our cremel. So it nicely dissolves it, and then it helps to thicken up the sauce. Now, the best thing you can do for yourself is just let this
You
cook
leave
down.
it. You laat die pot prit. There we go. I love that word in Afrikaans. Just let it simmer.
Obvious, yeah. We just let it simmer, do its thing, and then we're going to add our pasta a little later once it's
We've
thickened
got
up.
our pasta here, and what I know we are using chicken, but you can swap it out and maybe make a bacon dish. And if you want to go the vegetarian option, a great alternative is also to add some mushrooms. Make it with mushrooms. So you add your pasta in.
Yes, Pale.
See, I'm one of those people where it's okay. I'm one of those people where I put the pasta in the bowl first and then scoop the sauce or the product on top. I'm that person.
I like it this way because you also cook your pasta al dente, and then as it reduces, it fully cooks your pasta, and then it reduces the sauce.
Oh,
Perfect.
well, listen, I have to take full advantage of the fact that I get to taste the pasta for breakfast. This recipe is available for you on expressoshow.com. Chef Tumi, this is amazing. I have to give it a little bit of a swirl and a twirl and a go. There we go. Let me just quickly get a little bite in there. I get the different layers. There is a creaminess to it. I didn't grab any of the chicken just yet, but if you missed any of the steps, we have a quick recap for you. Oh, this is good.
Made with love by Clover.